The Earth's shadow demon cannot accept its defeat. Its voice is filled with rage and disbelief as it curses Lu Fan and the world itself. It blames its loss on the limitations of its current body, calling it weak and unworthy. Despite being reborn, it questions if its destiny is to fall to humans once again. Refusing to accept its fate, it attempts to activate its Shadow Walk skill. This ability allows the user to merge with Earthshade energy, gaining stealth and unrestricted movement. However, before it can complete the skill, it is interrupted. Lu Fan declares the end of the battle, preparing to finish the demon with his serpent bow. The technique he uses, Festival of the Dark Serpent, unleashes 100 magic arrows, each dealing significant damage. The arrows are set to strike. The Earth's shadow demon begins to doubt itself, wondering if it is truly finished. It realizes it cannot harm Lu Fan or his dragons. Just as all seems lost for the demon, a surge of power courses through its body. It roars with renewed strength, its presence becoming even more menacing. Lu Fan, alarmed by this unexpected development, quickly checks his system. He is certain the demon was defeated and cannot comprehend the source of this sudden power. Realization dawns on him. It must be the Earth's shadow demon's second form. Lu Fan understands now why the heroes of the Taiki Kingdom had struggled so much to seal it away. The Earth's shadow demon revels in its growing power. It taunts Lu Fan, mocking him for believing the fight was over. The demon's stats rise uncontrollably, reaching an overwhelming level. Its strength, spirit, agility, and endurance exceed anything previously recorded, making it a nightmare-level boss far beyond normal limits. Lu Fan watches as the demon's level increases to an unknown range, its stats climbing higher and higher. He realizes something is terribly wrong. Meanwhile, in the monitoring room, Principal Zhao observes the situation with growing alarm. He notices the Earth's shadow demon's stats are not just high, they are still rising with no sign of stopping. He declares the battle unwinnable in its current state. Principal Zhao turns to Old Master Han, urging him to act quickly. He suggests requesting a temporary ceasefire and having Lu Fan escape the spire immediately. Old Master Han, however, remains calm. He reminds Principal Zhao of the promise they made to share a pot of fresh tea after Lu Fan defeats the Earth Shadow Demon. Principal Zhao expresses concern for the safety of Lu Fan, pointing out that the Earth Shadow Demon's stats are nearing 100,000. Old Master Han calmly reassures him. He mentions Lu Fan's exceptional combat experience and sharp instincts, rare qualities in someone so young. Old Han asserts his trust in Lu Fan and refuses to let him die in this battle. Principal Zhao nods, assuring Old Han that he still trusts Lu Fan. He adds that as long as Old Han ensures Lu Fan's survival, he can be reassured. He reflects on how Dragon Capital Academy has invested its utmost effort into training Lu Fan and apologizes for his earlier outburst, attributing it to his concern. Old Master Han waves off the apology, understanding the principal's worries. Meanwhile, Jin Zan stands unnoticed in the distance, a sly grin on his face. He reflects on his plan, pleased that no one has realized his involvement. He recalls the earlier conversation with his thugs, when he instructed them to stop worrying about loopholes and given a clear order to adjust the Earth Shadow Demon's stats to their absolute maximum. His thugs had obeyed without question, assuring him that the adjustments were already complete. Jin thinks to himself how surprisingly competent they are considering their usual shortcomings. He feels confident that not even the legendary heroes of the Taiki Kingdom could defeat a fully maxed out Nine Realms demon. Jin is certain of his plan's success. His satisfaction grows as he envisions Lu Fan's defeat. Quietly, he waits for the moment when the Earth Shadow Demon will crush Lu Fan. Lu Fan mocks the Earth Shadow Demon, pointing out its overconfidence. He admits that the absurdity of its transition phase is beyond him, but warns it not to celebrate too early. Reflecting on the situation, Lu Fan decides he cannot let the demon's stats continue to rise unchecked. It is time to use his ultimate weapon. He draws his flaming sword, powered by the energy of the Black Dragon. With determination, he activates the natural assimilation dragon's summoning flute, calling forth the twin fallen dragons, their levels now matching his own. The battlefield shakes as the twin dragons unleash a deafening roar. Lu Fan commands his Emerald Dragon companion, Xia Fi, to merge with him, amplifying his power. Together, they summon the twin fallen dragons once more. Just as the summoning completes, the Earth Shadow Demon lunges at him, roaring threats of destruction. Lu Fan quickly mounts his Black Dragon companion, Shou Ye, and commands her to activate World-Destroying Roar. The roar echoes across the battlefield, causing immense destruction and applying a frailty effect to all enemies within range. The Earth Shadow Demon, enraged but undeterred, screams at Lu Fan, vowing that no human or dragon can defeat it. Unshaken, Lu Fan orders the twin fallen dragons to unlock dragon language magic. This advanced form replaces their demonic abilities with powerful dragon language spells. Among these is Doomfall, which fires a massive wave of demonic energy teeming with corpses. The spell deals devastating damage and further weakens the Earth-Shadowed Demon with a frailty effect. The combined assault leaves the Earth-Shadowed Demon battered, but his pride remains intact. It roars furiously, refusing to back down. It declares that it is an ancient beast worthy of respect, and vows to teach Lu Fan the consequences of underestimating the dignity of a Nine Realms demon. Lu Fan smirks, declaring it's time for the Earth-Shadowed Demon to learn the price of underestimating a dragon Tamer. Without hesitation, he commands his Star Dragon to switch forms. Starlight, he calls, and the Star Dragon responds, transforming into its ultimate state. A notification appears showing Starlight form activated. The remaining time is 59 seconds. The stats of the Star Dragon skyrocket, its level rises to 15, strength leaps from 4656 to 23,280, and agility, spirit, and endurance surge to extraordinary levels. Lu Fan readies the Starfall Beam, an ultimate skill of the Starlight form. The notification highlights its devastating properties, a concentrated beam of pure energy that inflicts incalculable damage. It ignores all defenses, cannot be blocked, and ensures every attack lands. The skill begins to charge, its brilliance illuminating the battlefield. The Starfall Beam charges to its peak. The Earth-Shadowed Demon roars, refusing to accept defeat. The beam fires, its energy tearing through the demon's defenses and shattering its body. The Earth-Shadowed Demon, realizing its fate, growls in disbelief. It mutters that this was not meant to happen. Its newfound power, acquired just moments ago, is being rendered useless. The Earth-Shadowed Demon cries out, lamenting its loss and vowing vengeance even in its last moments. Its form crumbles into the void, and it lets out one final bitter roar, swearing none of its enemies will leave alive. The Earth-Shadowed Demon's final attack causes the spire to collapse. Lu Fan quickly notices the danger and commands Xiao Yi to help everyone escape. Xiao Yi responds with a thunderous roar, carrying survivors out of the crumbling structure. Once outside the spire, Lu Fan takes a moment to steady himself. The tower's enormous size almost trapped him during the escape. Notifications begin appearing, showing the results of his hard-fought victory. Shofi, the Emerald Dragon, reaches level 24. The Star Dragon levels up to 16, and Xiao Yi, the Black Dragon, increases to level 32. Lu Fan's own level rises to 36. He acknowledges how exhausting the battle was, but reflects that it was entirely worth it to finally defeat the Earth-Shadowed Demon. With over 500,000 points now accumulated, far surpassing the 50,000 needed for rank 1, Lu Fan allows himself a rare moment of satisfaction. He smiles, knowing that he can finally rest. In the monitoring room, voices fill the air with awe and admiration. Observers comment on Lu Fan's incredible performance, noting that he has surpassed rank 2 by a staggering 440,000 points. His seamless coordination with his dragon companions leaves many impressed by his extraordinary skill. Vice Principal Zhao turns to Old Master Han and brings up the decisive laser attack at the end of the battle. Old Han nods, acknowledging it as a testament to Lu Fan's top-tier battle instincts. He highlights that achieving such advanced instincts at a young age is no ordinary accomplishment. Zhao agrees and emphasizes the extensive effort Dragon Capital Academy has invested in training Lu Fan. He stresses the importance of ensuring that such remarkable talent is not wasted. Old Han reflects that Lu Fan must have worked tirelessly to fully realize the potential of a dragon tamer. Zhao mentions the preparatory period before the nation's trial, saying the one responsible for training Lu Fan was, but before he can finish, the door slams open and Jin Zan enters abruptly. Zhao turns mid-sentence to face him. Someone in the room asks Zan if he is all right. Zan dismisses the concern, brushing off the incident and apologizing for his rudeness. Observers discuss the rankings, noting that although Taichi Nation trails Dragon Nation by 440,000 points, they still hold second place. One person wonders why Jin Zan appears so upset, despite their respectable standing. Zhao, puzzled by Jin Zan's behavior, turns to Old Han and asks about the issue. Old Han waves off the concern with a chuckle, suggesting they brew some fresh tea and not dwell on it. In his separate room, Jin Zan slams his fist against the wall in frustration. He reflects angrily on Lu Fan's victory, unable to accept that the Earth Fiend demon was defeated by him. The same demon, one that even national heroes can only seal, was slain by this Dragon Nation representative. His thoughts boil over with rage, deeming it unforgivable. At that moment, his two subordinates appear. One of them approaches cautiously, explaining that they had been unable to contact him earlier. Jin Zan, consumed by fury, grabs the subordinate by the shirt and demands answers. He questions whether the Earth Fiend demon's stats had truly been set to their maximum. The subordinate confirms this, explaining that Lu Fan's speed and damage output were so high that even the fully maxed out demon could not withstand his attacks. Jin Zan's anger intensifies as he reflects on the situation. He suspects that Lu Fan must have exploited a loophole to overcome such an impossible challenge. Zhao and Old Han walk past the room where Jin Zan is brooding. Zhao asks Old Han if they are leaving now. Old Han responds calmly, expressing how Lu Fan has made their lives easier. Zhao remarks on the outstanding performance of Lu Fan, pointing out not only his terrifying battle strength, but also the way he handled the Earth Fiend demon. He confidently states that no one in the nation's trial could stand against such power. Old Han chuckles, mentioning how his long night on duty has left his old bones weary. He suggests they take a walk to stretch and relax. Their conversation drifts into the room where Jin Zan overhears it. He remains silent, but is lost in thought, piecing together his growing suspicions about Lu Fan and the Dragon Nation. At that moment, one of Jin Zan's subordinates calls his name, breaking his concentration. Jin Zan, snapping back to focus, instructs the thug with clear orders. He tells him that if there is any issue with the Dragon Nation representative, the Dragon Nation supervisor must know something. He orders his subordinates to stay at the door and report immediately if anyone comes looking for the two Dragon Nation individuals. The thug stammers a quick acknowledgement, repeating his orders. Jin Zan then reflects privately, his mind fixated on the mystery. He vows to uncover the loophole that allowed the Dragon Nation representative to overcome the Earth Fiend demon, a feat even the Nine Realms demon could not achieve. Old Han remarks confidently that if everything continues as it has, the rank 1 spot in the nation's trial will undoubtedly belong to them. Zhao agrees, expressing his belief that the top position is secure. He admits that Old Han is calm as ever while he was overreacting earlier and apologizes for his behavior. Old Han chuckles, teasing Zhao about how he is used to seeing his nervous reactions from before. Zhao, slightly embarrassed, brushes it off and points out that they have arrived at their destination. Unbeknownst to them, Jin Zan sneaks behind, eavesdropping on their conversation. His thoughts burn with resentment as he reflects on their confidence. He silently vows that if he uncovers anything incriminating, he will ensure that other nations unite to expel Dragon Nation from the 23-nation alliance. Suddenly, a flying dagger lands just inches from Jin Zan, embedding itself in the wall. Startled, he looks around but sees no one. Examining the weapon, his eyes widen in realization. The dagger is no ordinary weapon. It's the level 90 Dark Knight Reaper, an expert-grade weapon linked to the 4 absolute swords. Jin Zan curses himself for forgetting about the exclusive bodyguard assigned to protect Old Han. Recognizing the dagger as a warning, he understands the danger he is in. Pursuing Han Fei or attempting anything against Dragon Nation now would mean inviting disaster. Jin Zan clenches his fists, knowing that if the 4 absolute sword intervenes further, his plans will crumble completely. For now, he decides to retreat. 10 minutes later, Zhao suggests Old Han, returning to the command room. He is eager to review Lu Fan's remarkable performance. However, as they walk back, Old Han notices the hole in the wall caused by his bodyguard's dagger. Observing it closely, he chuckles and remarks on how predictable Taiki Nation's underhanded tactics are, calling them as shameless as he expected. Meanwhile, Jin Zan returns to his room. His thugs approach him immediately, one handing him a backup phone while stating that they've been inundated with calls looking for him. Another, a bald thug, hesitates and asks about Jin Zan's troubled expression. Jin Zan, his patience worn thin, snaps at them to stop staring and return to their tasks. He orders them to monitor the situation in the background. The thugs scramble to obey, responding with hurried affirmations. Checking his phone, Zan sees a flood of urgent messages. The contents are heated. Questions about how the Dragon Nation representative managed to defeat the Earth Fiend demon, demands for a thorough review of the data, and accusations of cheating. There are frantic requests for him to return calls immediately. Online public opinion is reportedly spiraling, with people demanding the cancellation of Dragon Nation's qualification in the trial. Reading the messages, Jin Zan clenches his fists. He reflects bitterly, frustrated by the mounting pressure. He knows everyone expects him to find evidence of cheating, but he has found nothing concrete so far. His thoughts burn with determination. If any proof of Lu Fan's misconduct exists, he vows to uncover it. To him, expelling Lu Fan and Dragon Nation from the trial is a mission he refuses to abandon. Jin Zan enters the monitoring room and hears people discussing Lu Fan. One person sarcastically mentions how Lu Fan seems to be lying down and earning points, implying an effortless way to win. Another person admires Lu Fan, calling his performance truly incredible. Zan's attention shifts to the screen showing Lu Fan's points. He notices they have increased yet again and starts to suspect foul play. The idea of Lu Fan earning points automatically crosses his mind. Jin Zan feels a surge of excitement. He believes he has finally found evidence of Lu Fan exploiting a loophole. He is certain this discovery will lead to Dragon Nation's expulsion from the trial. Zayan quickly makes a call. The person on the other end picks up immediately, asking why he has been unresponsive and reminding him that public opinion is in chaos. They demand evidence of Lu Fan's cheating. Before Zayan can respond, something on the screen catches his eye, leaving him stunned. His expression shifts to disbelief as he sees the Earth Fiend demon and its army assisting Lu Fan instead of fighting him. He cannot make sense of what is happening and begins questioning everything. Meanwhile, Lu Fan reclines comfortably with his dragon companions by his side. Notifications keep appearing, showing his points steadily increasing. He feels satisfied and remarks that he can finally rest for a moment. His score has now reached an incredible 529,000 points, solidifying the dominance of Dragon Nation. It turns out, an hour ago, Lu Fan reflects on the vastness of the tower's interior. He recalls how he almost exited it by mistake during the chaos. With the Earth Fiend demon defeated and his points significantly increased, he considers taking a much-needed break. However, his thoughts shift to the newfound strength of the twin fallen corpse dragons. After the battle, their power has grown immensely, sparking an idea in his mind. He remembers the events outside the soldier camp in the far north, where the twin dragon king transformed into the fallen corpse dragon. Xiao Fei had managed to retrieve the twin dragon king's original power from the ancient god's hand. This allowed them to absorb fallen corpse energy without becoming corpse slaves. Lu Fan reflects on the insights he and Senior 2 gained at that time, particularly about the distinction between fallen corpse slaves and fallen puppets. The key difference lies in control. All fallen corpse puppets are created from lifeless bodies or ferocious beasts. Now, with 2 dragons fully charged with fallen corpse energy and the battlefield littered with the remains of the Earth Demon and the Legion of Heavenly Demon corpses, Lu Fan sees an opportunity. This moment presents the perfect chance to attempt something new. If he can combine the fallen corpse energy from his twin king dragons with these corpses, he may get new stronger legions that obey him. He feels that this experiment is worth the risk. Lu Fan decides to test his idea, commanding the twin king dragons to channel their power and attempt to control the corpses scattered across the battlefield. The dragons roar fiercely and put forth their best effort, but the attempt proves futile. Lu Fan lets out a sigh, realizing that the fallen corpse dragon lacks the ability to control the corpses. He reflects on the situation and concludes that a demon dragon that avoids becoming a corpse slave cannot manipulate puppet limbs. This realization leaves him wondering if he has no choice but to give up. At that moment, Xiao Fei, his emerald dragon companion, nudges his elbow, drawing his attention. She ascends into the air, her form radiating with an emerald aura. Surprised, Lu Fan watches as Xiao Fei transforms into her spirit light form. This transformation activates the unique attributes of her emerald dragon bloodline, doubling the effects of all skills for both herself and dragons that share her bloodline. Her soul shield ability enhances friendly targets affected by spirit light, increasing all their attributes by 100% to 200%. Additionally, every instance of damage they take is absorbed, forming 2 layers of soul shield. Once enough layers accumulate, they trigger a soul shock, dealing double the total absorbed damage back to enemies. Lu Fan quickly realizes that Xiao Fei's power has unlocked the potential of the demon dragon lineage, though it also doubles the negative effects they experience. The fallen corpse energy coursing through the twin dragon king has elevated them from a subdragon type to a true dragon. With Xiao Fei's enhancements, the attributes of the fallen corpse dragons skyrocket. Their strength increases from 4,098 to 12,288. Speed rises from 3,772 to 11,316. Spirit climbs from 3,426 to 10,278, and stamina leaps from 5,133 to 15,309. Lu Fan reflects that Xiao Fei must have realized the new attributes of the demon dragon lineage. He realizes the problem wasn't the dragon's inability, but their attributes were so low that they could not control those high-level beasts. Lu Fan commands Xiao Fei to unleash Jade Light, combining it with his own skill, Dragon Encouragement. This powerful move boosts his and his dragon's attributes and attack power by 30%. The fallen corpse dragon's stats rise significantly under these effects. Its strength jumps from 12,288 to 15,974. Speed increases from 12,234 to 14,710. Spirit climbs from 10,278 to 13,361, and endurance grows from 15,300 390 to 19,901. Jade Light adds another layer of enhancements. It places 2 protective layers on the target, removes all negative effects, and further increases all attributes by 30% to 60%. Each blessing layer absorbs 2 instances of damage, creating a powerful defensive barrier. With these additional buffs, the Fallen Corpse Dragon's stats surge once again. Its strength soars to 25,558, speed rises to 23,536, spirit reaches 21,377, and endurance climbs to 31,841. Lu Fan reflects on the limitations of the Twin King Dragons. While their level cannot surpass that of the Earth Demon, their attributes still have room to grow. However, even with their increased strength, they remain below the Earth Demon's level 35 attributes. Recognizing the need for more power, Lu Fan decides on his next move. He instructs Xiao Fei to transform into her eternal form and activate Life Pulse. The transformation triggers a significant change, with Xiao Fei unleashing the full potential of her eternal Emerald Dragon bloodline. All skill effects are doubled for her and any dragons sharing her bloodline. Life Pulse spreads Jade Blessing and Jade Light to all friendly targets within range, magnifying their effects 2 to 4 times depending on the number of layers. Xiao Fei roars, and Jade Blessing adds layers of dragon energy to the targets. This energy boosts attack damage for the next 3 to 12 attacks. Simultaneously, Jade Light places 2 protective layers on each target, removes all negative effects, and increases all attributes by 30% to 60%. Each blessing layer absorbs 2 instances of damage, creating a formidable defense. The results are immediate. The Fallen Corpse Dragon's stats surge dramatically. Their strength rises to 48,925, speed increases to 37,657, spirit reaches 34,203, and endurance soars to 49,452. Lu Fan realizes that their attributes now exceed those of the Earth Demon. With confidence, Lu Fan instructs the Twin King Dragons to unleash their fallen energy and turn the surrounding demon corpses into their puppets. The dragons roar, and a notification appears, confirming their success. The 9 Realms Demon Army soldiers at level 75 are transformed into Fallen Corpse puppets. The transformation also activates their powerful skills. The first one is Corpse Wave. The more Fallen Corpses present, the more their defenses increase by 25%. The second is Life from Death. Each instance of non-lethal damage boosts defense by 25%. The third is Despair. All damage dealt by fallen corpses gains an additional multiplier of up to twice the original amount, depending on current defense. Lu Fan is delighted with his success. He reflects on how this newly transformed army of fallen corpses allows him to completely relax while they gather points on his behalf. A notification surprises him with a new skill, Control the Fallen Corpses. This ability enables him to remotely command all transformed fallen corpses, summon them, and recover them as needed. The system displays the skill details. It confirms that all transformed fallen corpses can be summoned, controlled, and recovered at any time. If any of them are destroyed, their fallen energy returns to the Fallen Corpse Dragon. Lu Fan realizes the immense potential of this skill, noting that he can deploy the entire 9 Realms Demon Army outside of dungeons. He reflects on the history of the 9 Realms Demon Army wreaking havoc in Takenation 50 years ago and considers the possibility of repeating such events with this power. Suddenly, the ground shakes violently, interrupting his thoughts. Lu Fan and his dragon companions look on in awe as the Earth Shadow Demon stirs and comes back to life. Its transformation reveals that it has reached level 75 alongside the rest of the fallen corpses. Its skills remain formidable, making it a powerful addition to Lu Fan's army. It retains Shadow Effect, channeling Earth Demon energy into its attacks. Targets struck by its male strikes are marked with shadows up to 3 layers. Each shadow amplifies the damage the target receives by 40%. The demon also wields Walking in Shadows, which allows it to merge with Earth Demon energy and become invisible. In this state, it can move undetected, though the invisibility shatters if it attacks or takes damage. Its third skill, Liquid Blood Claws, manipulates swift and deadly claws to tear through enemies, dealing massive damage. Following each use, its strength surges by 200% for 1 second, delivering devastating blows. The demon, once a nightmare-level boss, has been reduced to a servant, ready to unleash its destructive potential on the commands of Lu Fan. The ancient monster that was close to destroying the Taiki Nation has been turned into a fallen corpse puppet. Lu Fan reflects that now it obeys his commands completely, and this feeling cannot simply be described. An hour later, Jin Zan is in shock. He cannot believe what has happened. The Earth Demon is now under the control of Lu Fan. He stares at his phone in disbelief, his hands trembling. On the other side of the phone call, someone repeatedly asks about the evidence of Lu Fan's cheating. Jin Zan loses his grip on his phone. He is speechless, unable to understand how everything has gone wrong. He whispers to himself that it's over. The Earth Demon is now under Lu Fan's control, and the public's opinion is about to turn upside down. Meanwhile, Vice Principal Zhao laughs. He looks at the point gap and says that Lu Fan is clearly still number one. With such a huge lead, no one will be able to catch up. He admits that he was too quick to doubt Lu Fan, agreeing with what Old Han said. Old Han chuckles and adds that recognizing reality is crucial in developing a strategy. If other nations cannot handle defeat, then there is nothing left for them to do. He laughs again, confident in the situation. Jin Zan clenches his fists tightly. He thinks about the public opinion, the dignity of the Jin family, and how the sarcastic voice of Old Han still echoes in his ears. Realizing that he has no other choice, Jin Zan's face darkens as he decides to give Lu Fan another mission, a mission that no one can complete. While still enjoying the perks of having subdued the legions of demons, Lu Fan lies back and reflects on the situation. He remembers how he ordered Xiao Fi to summon the Fallen Corpses dragon. Now the demon dragon Fallen Corpses once again controls the Earth Demon and reissues commands to the 9 Realms demon soldiers. Lu Fan looks at his points. Dragon Nation 529,035 plus 75. Then the points increase again. Dragon Nation 529,110 plus 75, and finally, Dragon Nation 529,185 plus 104. He realizes that he has collected quite a few points. His eyes scan the system for any new updates, noticing that a new mission has appeared in the Frozen Lands. Later, in the Frozen Lands of the nation's trial, Yasing Lei, the silver-haired idiot from before, reflects on his misfortune. He wasn't very lucky to meet Lu Fan at the last important checkpoint. He thinks this newly appeared mission is finally his. But then he sees Lu Fan coming back with his dragon. He is shocked to see him again. He had just found the mission point, but now he wonders why he's meeting Lu Fan once more. Realizing that Lu Fan is likely here to take on the mission again, it dawns on him that Lu Fan must have already completed his mission to defeat the 9 Realms demons. Panic sets in as the idiot realizes he has been noticed. He quickly tries to cover up his earlier words, apologizing for his loud remarks. Lu Fan, however, isn't interested in him. Instead, he takes out his black sword, infused with Dragon Key Black Dragon 2. He swings it with power, not aiming for the idiot, but for a monster lurking behind him. The idiot is stunned, wondering why he's being attacked. Lu Fan activates Dragon Riding, using it to enhance his normal attacks with Dragon Energy, allowing him to strike with long-range damage. Lu Fan's Dragon Nation points rise to 501,047, with an additional 245 points added. The idiot realizes the truth. The ferocious beasts have been following him, not Lu Fan. Grateful and relieved, he silently thanks Lu Fan for saving his life. A notification appears, alerting that there is a mission point ahead. Lu Fan tells him that saving his life is not that much, and it was just a passing help from him. Yasing Lei chuckles, realizing how close he came to dying. His points, currently at 237.05, place him at rank 17, a far cry from the leaderboards he dreams of. Lu Fan wonders how this idiot managed to gather so many points in just one day. The idiot reflects he hasn't slept, spending the entire day hunting fierce beasts to rack up 20,000 points. Lu Fan reflects that although he could earn points by defeating Yasing Lei now, his points are still too few. He decides to wait until Yasing Lei gathers more points. After the lesson from the previous encounter, Yasing Lei doesn't dare to challenge him again. Lu Fan places his hand on Yasing Lei's shoulder and comments that his points are growing too slowly. He points out that being ranked 17 is a disgrace to the Southland. He encourages Yasing Lei to work harder. Hoping that when they meet again, his ranking will be higher. Yasing Lei is shocked by this unexpected encouragement. He thought the Dragon Nation, and especially Lu Fan, was arrogant and unreasonable, as the Southern Nation always claimed. But Lu Fan is not like that. He had defeated the 9 Realms demon, saved him, and now encouraged him. Yasing Lei realizes how foolish he was to once want to kill Lu Fan. He feels ashamed of his actions and thoughts, understanding now that his desire to defend the South's dignity had blinded him. Determined to repay Lu Fan and honor the expectations of the Dragon Nation, Yasing Lei vows to work hard and earn more points. He has learned a valuable lesson. Lu Fan shifts his focus to the new mission point. The task is unexpected. It requires representatives to fight each other, and it seems that someone will be eliminated on the second day of the national trial. The mission point lists an unknown target and is located in the swamp area. Lu Fan considers the possibility that it could be Kim Sung-han or Charles, but he decides that it doesn't matter who the target is. He is determined to complete the mission regardless. He rides Shou Ye and instructs her to head toward the swamp. Meanwhile, in the swamp that afternoon, a huge black serpent attacks a yak, sinking its teeth into the animal. This serpent belongs to Jai Lan, the rank 6 representative from the Kingdom of Hing. As the serpent feeds, points are added to Jai Lan's total. He receives a notification and reads that someone has received a hunting mission, and now he has become the target. Jai Lan finds this amusing, intrigued by the challenge ahead. Jai Lan is a level 60 poison healer with 66,375 points. Rank 10, a large girl named Wei Jie stands beside Jai Lan and speaks confidently, saying that no matter the strength of the person coming, they will never think of them as an alliance of 4 nations. Wei Ji from the Kingdom of Han is a level 60 bear god and has 52,642 points. She tells Jai Lan that she's annoyed to be in such a damp and insect-filled place. Jai Lan replies that he couldn't have predicted this. He recalls that when the 4 nations formed an alliance and entered the national trial, they agreed to gather points together at his location. Wei Jai argues, questioning why she's the only one there. She asks where Yasing Lai and Baden are. Jai Lan tells her that Baden will arrive soon but hasn't seen Yasing Lai since they entered the trial. He can only say that Yasing Lai is still alive, but he doesn't know where he is. Wei Jai expresses her frustration with Yasing Lai. She says that if it were up to her, they should stop waiting for him. She adds that she's been moving ahead, only killing beasts that got in her way. If it weren't for meeting Jai Lan, she would still only be rank 10. Just then, another notification pops up. Wei Jai looks at it and says, "What, the hunter is already coming." Jai Lan chuckles and replies that he hopes the hunter has a lot of points. He tells Wei Jai that once Baden arrives, they will set up an ambush to show the hunter who the real prey is. And that was it for today. I hope you liked today's video, and if you did, hit that like button, as today's like goal is 1,500 likes. Comment next part down below if you want to see what happens next. Also, consider subscribing with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops onto the channel. You can also join the channel to support me financially and watch videos before their public release. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.